First thing we're going to talk about today is Ministry Tsunami. I want to start by saying thank you to the many who have already signed up for this and the way we're getting our people behind it. We have, I think, close to 250, 60-something projects. Many of them have already been signed up for. And this is a great opportunity for us to go out into the community and serve in many different ways. And I understand, we've already talked through some of the logistical things, the day of when it is, and all of the things like that. And Brian's going to touch on some of those a little bit here in a second when he comes up. But what we're encouraging you to do is, as many as possible, is to be involved in this. I know many of you are very active within your church home, and it would be almost impossible for you to pull away from that. And we're not asking you to do that. But we are asking you, over the people who you deal with, as much as you can, to get them involved, even if you can't be involved in the project. So there's tons of things. Today, I think Holly said she got a call from Wounded Warrior Project. There's like 130 homes, and there's DFACS homes, and there's a lot of ministry opportunities that are going on over there. So thanks to the many who've already signed up for it, and we wanted to give an update on it. Holly, I think you're going to give an update. Brian, you're going to share a couple things, and then we'll move on to some other things we have today as well.
So just to let you guys know, we do appreciate all of you being willing to help, and Brian's going to come and talk to you more about the people, the numbers, how we're moving along with the sign-up process. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about the projects. We have what we're doing, what has signed up so far at ELCA is all of first grade is doing something, all of second grade, all of third grade. Those are really good ideas. You guys in middle and high school may want to look at that if you find that, maybe I know it's harder in high school because you guys don't really have, grades all together necessarily, but feel free to combine if you can't be there. We can also, at some of the projects, we could send maybe 2 teams to some of those. So just know that use your, creative skills and do that. We do have, you can see over there on the board, but we have 13 parks. These are great for students because they can drive themselves. There's a parking lot there. There's probably restrooms there. They can go to their church perhaps if they really want to do that morning, and then come and meet at the park. So there's some, that gives a little bit of flexibility. The parks have very prescribed things to do. It's mostly putting out pine straw, picking up weeds, that kind of stuff. We have the DFACS homes. That's a way to really get into people's lives. For a lot of you have been wanting to work with kids. There's a lot of laws against that. All right, so that is not really turning out to be a possibility. But by taking on a DFACS home, you're taking on children. All right, so that for those of you that want to be involved in kids' lives, that's the way to do that. All right, to get into those homes, they've given us their name, their address, and their telephone number. We have complete access. And that's really almost unprecedented because DFACS operates under very strict rules with not really the HIPAA laws because that's for healthcare, but kind of the same idea for protecting privacy. But in this scenario, they're allowing us to have that contact with the family. So a great opportunity in that scenario, but it does require labor. So I have the list of DFACS homes. I have their needs. Some of them are as simple as going in and decluttering. So that doesn't take a huge skill set. But if they're wanting repairs on their home, we're going to need to send some dads there to help with the repairs. So, but we will be identifying what those repairs are. The cemeteries, we still have that as an option. That's another great one, except their parking will be limited. So if your kids are driving there, that one would be a little bit challenging, and no restrooms. So pottying for little kids, problem. All right, so just think about that with the cemeteries. But certainly that is a possibility, and there are some that are close to businesses. We have maps, so you can actually look at those to see where they are. So certainly it could still be for some of the middle school students or younger high school students. But anyways, think about that. Nursing homes, huge need still, great opportunity. Some of you had expressed your desire to go and read to children or to do those kinds of things. This is another great way. I know it's not as fun as a cute little kid sitting in your lap, but it is somebody that needs love, and they need touch. And this is our opportunity to go in there and put our hand on their knee or put our arm around them and just be kind to them that day. It is an amazing opportunity for us to go into these nursing homes. And so please don't discredit that one as gross of a project as it might feel for you to present that to your high school students or middle school students, it is a great opportunity. Yard work, we haven't really turned out with a whole bunch of yard works. Believe it or not, a lot of the, there's only like 4. Mr. Guest is taking the football team to St. Andrews, and Dr. Balti is taking a group to Highlands to do painting mailbox. So that's kind of the limit that we have on yard work, really. So that one hasn't turned out. We have 2 projects with the city of Stockbridge. They have asked us to come in, and this is something that would be neat for schools because the city wants to use the space to highlight art projects for students. It's the space where the eminent domain thing was, if you guys remember that a few years ago with the flower shop. So it's that space. The flower shop actually moved. They're down the road, happy and healthy, but the plot of land is still there, and it's right in the middle of City Hall. It's a great opportunity for ELCA to go out there and to beautify that piece of property. So that's one that we're looking at doing, and then they have another piece of property a little bit down the road between there and Walmart. And then, like Mr. Gillum said, the Wounded Warrior Project called, and they have 129 homes. So we're not really sure what we're going to do with that, but we're going to pray about it, and we're going to trust that we'll be able to meet their needs too. But please sign up. Feel free to sign up for more than one. We would love that. So Brian's going to come.
All right. Yes. All right. You can shake it out. Tsunami. Shake it out. We're talking about the tsunami. My stress level's going up. No. Hey, y'all doing all right? How are those kids today? Did Mr. Tucker have to paddle those Schuler boys today? I know. The Schuler kids, don't just keep praying. It's a few more years, they'll be out of here, man. And I got Larry Curley and I got No Mo, so it's all good. Okay? Just letting you know. We'll move on. Do our thing. But hey, man, I really want to talk to you a little bit about the ministry Tsunami, and I really greatly appreciate the opportunity to be able to be a part of this and help charge the hill for this one. It is absolutely crazy. We've been through a wave of emotions. You know, we've gone from tsunami, tropical depression, back up to tropical storm, depression, tsunami. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a wave of emotions with this, right? And but I really appreciate it. And why are we doing this? Here's the thing. We're simply trying to be the hands and the feet of Jesus. Nothing more, and it's nothing less. It's not a organizational promotion. It's nothing more than let's going out and let's serve on this day. And we're trying in whatever ways we thought, oh, we're going to go in this direction and we're going to do these projects. And those completely, it was as if we never even asked. It was such a blank stare, right? And you come over here and then all of a sudden they're opening the doors and you're like, man, I never thought we could walk into those doors. And that's crazy, having that opportunity. So just watching what's been going on, and Holly's calling these places, and the response to that, and the fact of we have somebody in our church that is a business owner, and over the past couple of years, he's specifically called DFACS and specifically said, I will do anything to help your children. And he's specifically gotten nothing, ever. Not even they said, you can drop your check off right here, you can drop off your gifts right here, and we'll take care of that for you. And you understand, they gave us 28 homes, names, phone numbers, to go and contact them. Now, am I going to be able to beat the door down and say, hey, first thing we do, I'll give you this food if you listen to Jesus? We probably won't be able necessarily to do that. But the fact we can go in there and just say, hey, we love you, we appreciate you, we're praying for you, whatever we can do. And maybe food, some of them have minor work projects we could do. That's all we're doing. Some of us are going to go to cemeteries. At first I thought, that is dumb. I mean, that's just straight dumb. I ain't going to no cemetery. Why am I going to a cemetery? You know, because you're going there, you ain't talking to nobody. And if you do, you better run. If somebody's there and they're hungry, you've just met the television show that's coming out after you, right? And so we think, man, what are we doing some of these projects for? This is crazy. I'll tell you why. Some of those things like that. Somewhere in the last year, a couple of pastors and I, we were invited into Hampton High School. It was after a tragedy, and someone had kind of pushed to get us in there just to make us available for that tragedy, right? We got to come in the next morning, and they said, okay. And so 3 pastors, including myself, sat in a back room for 3.5 hours. And guess how many people we talked to? Guess how many students we ever had a conversation with? 0. Nobody ever came saw us, nobody ever came, and nothing was ever said after that, right? Nothing ever happened. We got an email yesterday from this person that has made this contact, and they're actually going to allow for a certain criteria, background check, go through some certification, that some pastors can be on a first responders list for this county, for the schools. Why? Because we sat in that room for 3.5 hours and just listened to announcements and watched kids go by. Just simple things like that. We have no idea why we're going to go to cemeteries. Only God knows that, right? We have no idea why we may just deliver a box of food to DFAC's home number 25. I have no idea why in the world we're going to go to J.P. Mosley Park and put out pine straw and pick up sticks. I have no idea. All I can pray is that the wave of tsunami will come through and God will simply water the seeds we plant. That's it. Nothing more and nothing less. Jesus said, I came to serve and not to serve. That is all the tsunami is. This is an opportunity to release all of our people to go and be the hand and feet in Jesus on that day. That's it. There's no other agenda to that. And it's crazy. I mean, it's physically crazy to think about what we're trying to do, right? You're a great part of that. And for some of you, you physically can't be here. Right? I talked to Miss Brown. We were on the Rock Eagle. Dude, Rock Eagle, man. I'll go back to Rock Eagle now. The cabins. Man, I thought I went to the Ritz-Carlton. Because 2 years ago, I just went to Death Man's Zone. Mr. Tucker, man, you kid. And Miss Hearn? Whoop, whoop. Where's Miss Hearn? Miss Hearn? Did Miss Hearn line us up for another rainy trip? Right? I mean, it was amazing. So I was talking to Miss Brown. She's like, what am I going to do for this ministry tsunami? I'm like, I don't know. Let's talk about it. So I knew they were going to do a park. I was like, here's the thing. You get a couple of your classes, the 3rd grade classes, they take the park. And I think they're at Heritage Park. And I explained where it is. It's a great park. It's one of my favorite parks. It's got the train. It's got the park, the vegetable garden. It's got the playground. I said, here's what you do. You come, people that can come here, because her husband's a pastor, and she can't necessarily, may not be able to make that service. I said, what you do is you come together, and then you meet at the park. You do what they ask you to do, because they'll have the pine straw there, or whatever projects you're going to do. Everybody brought their bag lunch. You all meet under the pavilion for your bag lunch after you worked a little bit. The kids are going to play right there, and you just spent 2 or 3 hours with families you weren't going to spend 2 or 3 hours with. It's nothing more, and it's nothing less. We loved our community, you loved your families, and we moved on. And we just prayed for God to do something amazing in that day. So, I don't know what it's going to be for you. One of our life group classes that meets right over here, Jody McKinnon. Jody McKinnon, straight up first day, said, I cannot do the tsunami. I will not be in town for that day. We said, that's great, but don't still present that to your class, see if they can participate. They did. They are taking on the largest construction project in the entire tsunami project, right? Because people said, well, we can do that. It reminds me of Miss Hand. Y'all know Miss Hand was my senior English teacher? Yeah. Ain't that so great? She done such a good job. I'm being so eloquent. Really, it's the whole story of my wife now. She took Miss Hand twice. She took it when she was a junior for me. And the next year when she was a senior, I was like, see, you were prepared. No. But Miss Hand, listen, do you remember 2 doors down, there was this crazy teacher, Miss Adele Brinkley, right? When I say crazy, anybody have Miss Adele Brinkley? Right? Love her. She's my Facebook friend now, right? When I say crazy, like Miss Hand will be in the middle of a class and go, watch my belly roll. And do a belly roll. I mean, not Miss Hand. But here's what I remember from Miss Brinkley, 10th grade English. She said, "Don't ever rob someone the joy of giving." And I thought, what does she mean by that? She's like, here's the thing. Sometimes we have to receive. You may not be here for the ministry tsunami. Don't take that opportunity from the other people you influence. Give them the opportunity to serve. It's nothing more and it's nothing less. It's no guilt trip. It's nothing but we want to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And it's just a great day that we release that to happen. That's all I got.
That's good.
Hallelujah, Mr. Hornsby.
Thanks, Brian. Very encouraging. So,
Yeah, we did put T-shirts in the high school workroom, and I think I gave them to all elementary and most middle school. We are asking that you guys be the walking billboards on Fridays until November 29th. So if you'll please wear your tsunami shirt, whether you can attend that day or not, that's a great way to help promote it with the students. So if you don't have a T-shirt, let me know, but we'd love for y'all to wear those, please.
all right, thanks. Okay, we have 2 projects now we want to spend some time talking to you about. Al is going to spend some time talking about our merit renovation and present to y'all what's going on with that. And then after that, Martha's going to share some things. Are you still good with that? So, turn it over to Al.
He said just a couple per table.
Look, I've been to preach with Brian. It's kind of hard to talk Brian.
But
It is exciting. Like I said, I know I've kind of gone through a range of emotions with our project too, but I think as he said, what it is being the hands and feet of Jesus. And that's all it is. I mean, it's a way for us to go out and minister to our community. And hopefully we'll all be in church on that Sunday anyway, so we'll come here and then go out and put hands and feet to some of these projects that can have a big impact on our community. But I had a couple of projects I wanted to talk to y'all about. Mark's going to share about our technology lab that looks like we'll be doing here shortly, and then our student support services area. How many people have actually been into the back of the student support services area? Okay, if you haven't, you ought to go take a trip here before Thanksgiving, because we've got about 125 students now that receive some type of assistance through student support services or merit. And you know, a lot of people have the question, well, what is merit? What is student support services? It's just students that may learn a little bit differently than others. You know, they're not special education, they're not the other. They're just students that learn differently. And in a lot of cases, there may be students that go in and get some assistance within one subject, and then they graduate or transition out of that program. So it allows I was talking to one family about the project, and it's a chance. They've got 3 students here, and one of their students is served within the merit area. And they said it's a way for their family, all of their students, to be able to come to the same school, because unfortunately, if we do not have that department, they cannot keep their family together in school because one of their students would not be able to function in a regular classroom. So it's a way for families to be kept together. And if you've been in the back, you've seen, that was the old cafe before we had the new building, and it's a lot of partitions, dividers, used or secondhand. Is that a good way of putting it?
Flea market.
Flea market. They use that term, flea market, flea up in that area. It's like it happened flea up jet, but got the flea market atmosphere back there. But with that, we are looking to do, and Vicki and Kim have handed out, we've got plans. We had talked, I guess about 2 years ago, to start conversations about what we can do to renovate this area. And the total project cost is going to be a little over $200,000. So it's a significant project for our school. But we've had one family that's came in and agreed to serve as our lead sponsor. So we're very excited about that. The Friday before Thanksgiving, we'll actually be taking all the stuff that we're going to keep, which is not going to be a lot. We're going to box that up, and starting Saturday morning before Thanksgiving, 6 o'clock, they're going to go in and start demolition on that project. So the goal is there's 3 weeks between Thanksgiving break and Christmas break. The goal is, of course, they'll be transitioning in different areas, those students, for those 3 weeks, but to hopefully have the project finished by Christmas break. We'll come back after Christmas break. And you can see on the back the plans. We'll have 6 classrooms, 2 offices, and this is the first time we've had the opportunity to allow families and businesses to come in and have naming opportunities within our school. So you can see the lead area sponsor had a significant donation of over $50,000, which they're going to have the naming rights. It's going to be called this company's Learning Center. And I think we can go ahead and say that the Estes family has agreed to come in and sponsor that, so it'll be known as the Estes Learning Center for a period of 15 years. And then we've got 2 of our classrooms have already been sponsored, and those families will have a little plaque outside of those classrooms donated in honor or memory of this family. Again, we're looking to do 6 smart boards and computers and furnishings. Next Tuesday night, we'll be having a reception from 6 to 7:30. Hopefully you've already received an email that went out Tuesday. We invited last week the families with students within this area, and then we sent an all-school email, I guess it was yesterday. And I think we've got 27 RSVPs so far, so we're excited about the response we've had thus far. Again, the naming rights for the classrooms and the offices are for a 15-year period. And then for the smart boards, if they are willing to purchase a smart board, there'll be a small little notation on the smart board, and that'll be for a period of 10 years. The reason we're doing that is because technology may change within that time period. But families can't donate at that level. Anybody that donates to the project, we're going to have a larger plaque that will be somewhere within the area that'll notate their donation to the project. And we're just looking to have as much participation as we can have. Now, we had met with the staff there in the Merritt area yesterday, and it may be a chance for some businesses that don't have to have students here. They might have had to struggle when they were in school, and they might be a successful business owner now that might have a heart for children that have diagnosed learning differences, but they may want to contribute. They have no really affiliation with our school. I'll be glad to talk to anybody that y'all want to send my way. A lot of businesses may look at it as an advertising opportunity. I hate to say it that way, but if they want to look at it in that manner, there will be a plaque outside of each office, and they would just utilize it out of their advertising budget this year. We are coming up at year end, so there may be some businesses and people looking to donate for tax reasons. And we'd love to talk to them also. And again, I can send everyone, if you got anybody that might have an interest, I've got this in email format and also a donation form. I'll be glad to send your way. And does anybody have any questions on the project? Just give me anything you want to add.
If y'all can just help us in getting the word out in regards to it, that it's coming up. There is going to be a displacement of some of those students, but we'll be giving you a plan in regards to what all that's going to look like. But especially if you have any leads on that. We don't have any budget resources to go to either of these projects that are being presented. So all of this is fundraised. This renovation and also what Martha's going to talk to us with technology. So as much as you can, get the word out for us. This is going to be a huge win for that department and all the students that are serviced there. Ms. Fairley.
Okay, guys, this year we moved our middle school, high school computer lab up to room 16. We were in 264. We just kind of grew out of it. What we've been able to do in that computer lab this year is computer programming classes for high school, web design classes for high school, computer programming classes for middle school, and some rotational technology classes for middle school as well. We have been very blessed in that we've had several families make specific donations toward enhancing our technology in that room. We kind of like it when they earmark donations, and that's what's happened. To that end, we are actually changing that computer lab over to a math lab, which will really put our students on a cutting edge with the classes not only that we have this year, but the classes we are adding next year as well. So families have donated over $54,000 to go to this lab. That's pretty exciting for me, and it's going to be exciting for our kids as well. So what we're doing, we're changing that lab, getting very much away from a traditional perspective of teaching. We've been doing a lot of collaborative work in that lab, and the rows and tables just aren't working very well for us. And we put that proposition to the families, and they've actually redesigned the entire lab for us. So we're getting rid of our benches and tables, and we're setting up, I call the tables bullet tables and boomerang tables, okay? We're setting up about 4 bullet tables, which will go around the walls. The end plan for those tables, since we will have Macs, is to actually have monitors, flat screen monitors at the tops of those tables where our kids can actually project their coding or project their web design up to those screens. And then the boomerang tables in the center, we're actually going to have 9 Macs in the center, but those tables, although they're set up for 3 kids apiece, could actually hold 6 kids apiece as well. So this is sort of a 2D. This is I don't know if you can see that, that's not a very good picture, but that's sort of a 3D model of how that's going to look. The room is going to be equipped with a 21.5-inch screen iMacs, about a lot of memory on those Macs, and we've got big plans for that room as we wind down this year and coming up to next year. Okay, Al just mentioned everything that's going on over Thanksgiving and Christmas. I have no idea where our Christmas break is going to go. But this work is actually starting. The power for this room will actually get put in the week that we go out for Thanksgiving. And then the iMacs and the furnishings and all that stuff will be delivered, pray, the week of exams or the beginning of that next week, which is Christmas break week. So y'all pray we actually get a Christmas break, and the hope is that we get back in January and this lab is done and our kids walk into a 21st century Mac lab. That's pretty exciting for them. You may have noticed we put on Facebook, we took our kids from those classes to the Apple Store, and they actually got to go hands-on with some of the Macs. Some of our kids had never touched Macs before, and they freaked out. It was pretty exciting for them, and what they can do on those machines just kind of blows my mind. We don't even begin to figure out what they're going to do there. So y'all pray that everything goes smoothly. It never does, but but we're pretty excited. This is a look at the Macs that they'll be getting. Now the good news for us in that is as these Macs go in, we've got a lot of trickle down that's going to happen with some of those machines. So we're earmarking some spots for the machines that are there as well. So that's going to be some good news for some of our teachers as well. So, okay, y'all pray with us on that.
Well, one thing I'll mention on both projects, one thing I've met with people stressing to them is that we're viewing these as more capital projects and not kind of annual projects. So, if they're making donations, we're asking them to make that kind of out of their assets versus their cash flow. We still want, and almost every family that has donated to either project thus far, it was in addition to their annual fund donation. So they made their normal ELCA fund donation they've historically done, and again, they're making an additional contribution. So if you have families that are interested, again, we're still stressing that you still need to do it to the ELCA fund, but this is viewed as more of a capital project, because these won't be done, of course, on a yearly basis.
So just K to 12, that means we redid the elementary computer lab, as you guys know, last year. And this would be redoing the middle and high school lab, repurposing the computers that are in there. We know that we have some high needs areas, especially in elementary classrooms, so we're working on that as well. But help us in promoting these projects. Obviously, we'll be sharing some of this at State of School, we'll be getting the word out on it, but some excellent opportunities for our students. And pray especially for the timeline in regards to just pulling all of these things together over the next few weeks as we go through this. Any questions about either project? Kevin?
None at all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all for all you do. Hope you have a good afternoon. See you tomorrow.